Hello and welcome to the Daily Halacha. The Daily Halacha is sponsored by the Morgan family in memory of Bella's mother, Dr. Ellen Shanzer, of blessed memory, Elana Bak Yisrael. We have been discussing what happens if one is cooking a meat or dairy and the other type of food falls in. If one is cooking meat and some dairy falls in, or one is cooking dairy and some meat falls in, we said that in order for the food to be kosher, there needs to be 60 times the amount. So if it's a dairy dish and some meat falls in, it needs to be 60 times the dairy against the meat that had fallen in. We also mentioned a few days ago the law of Ben Yomo or Eno Ben Yomo, that if, let's say, a dairy pot that has not been used in 24 hours and one accidentally cooks meat in that pot, that the food is kosher because since it's not fresh, it's Eno Ben Yomo, it's not within the last 24 hours, the taste that is imparted is considered to spoil the actual taste of the food, and therefore it's not considered to be a problem. What happens if the pot is not 24 hours old, meaning has been used in the last 24 hours? It is not a Ben Yomo. It is not an Eno Ben Yomo. It is a Ben Yomo. So I'll read you from Rabbi Pfeffer, who explains as follows. כשבישל בשר בקדרה של חלב בת יומא הבשר אסור. If one cooks in a dairy pot, one cooks meat in a dairy pot that has been used in the last 24 hours, the meat is prohibited. Mishum shakadera shel chalav, because the pot is dairy. Maflita toch k'dei bishul tam hachalav habalu haba. And the taste that is absorbed into the walls of the dairy pot now is imparted into the meat, and therefore it's not kosher. אמנם אם היה בתבשיל הבשר המתבשל בסיר זה כמות של פי 60 יותר מאשר הטעם הבלוע בקדרה. However, if this meat dish that is now being cooked in this dairy pot is 60 times the amount of the taste that is absorbed into the walls of the dairy pot, ודאי שהתבשיל הבשרי and mutar, based on the law of batal b'shishim, in this case certainly the meat would be permitted. דעתם שנכנס בו הוא because since the taste that is imparted into the meat is so minuscule, less than a 60th, it's not considered in halachic terms to matter at all. It's nullified completely. It's as if it's not there. The question is, of course, how do you measure if there's 60 times food against the amount of taste that is absorbed into the other pot? And Rav Pfeffer here teaches us a very important yesod, a very important principle, that it's basically impossible to know exactly how much food has been absorbed into the dairy pot because it's just not something we're capable of measuring. So therefore, we have to view the entire pot as if it is completely absorbed, is completely saturated with the with the dairy. So therefore, in order for the meat to be kosher, if it was cooked in this dairy pot, you would need 60 times against the entire pot. And Rav Pfeffer now teaches us another important principle: V'zeh kemat ef mitzvot. That is almost impossible. Shekli yachzik b'tocho pishishim. That a kli, a vessel, will hold 60 times it of itself, of the thickness of the walls. Basar shebashel b'chli chalavi. Therefore, meat that has been cooked in a dairy pot, o chalav shebashel b'chli basari, or dairy that was cooked in a meat pot. And again, both of these, in this situation, the pot is a ben yomo. It has been used in the last 24 hours. Hakol ne'asar. In that case, everything, all of the food in that case is asur, because batel b'shishim, nullifying in 60, does not work. We will continue more about this in the days to come. Have a wonderful day.